Hey guys, Will Terry here, and this video is going to be called What I'm Selling at Comic Con. And so I'm just going to go over all the different things that I'm going to be selling at Comic Con. Get to try out my new camera on this video. And if you haven't, if you're new to my channel, or if this is the first video you're seeing, a lot of this isn't going to make sense unless you go back and watch the other videos in the playlist. And they're all numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So let's get going. I'll show you my t-shirts first. Hey guys, look what came today. My t-shirts for Comic-Con. I'm so excited that these turned out so well. They're 100% cotton. I believe they are. Let's see. Yeah, 100% cotton. Hanes. It's a nice tight weave on the shirt, and so it allowed the artwork to really show up nice. I don't know if you can see that really well, but anyway, I'm going to share the numbers, the costs and everything on the next video. So but anyway, there's the t-shirts. I got 4 boxes of them. Let's see. Okay, we're recording right now. So I've got Paul Lowry, is that right? Yep. Okay. And we're at Press Media. Yep. And we're looking at proofs. Okay, so here we go. So go ahead and tell me.
So we've got 2 different kinds of proofs. These are in position proofs that make sure we've got everything centered correctly. And this is the exact size it's going to be, making sure it's good left to right, up and down. You know, that our cut marks not cutting your name off, all that kind of stuff. So we do in positions on all of them, make sure everything looks good. You can look at those. And then these are Epson proofs. These are how they're going to look on press. So this is going to look for colors. Okay. So don't worry about the color on these ones, but this is the color,
like the shading, color and value.
The color and value, the depth.
Okay.
So
it's funny because I had told you that they look too dark on my screen, but these look just a little bit too light.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the point to make changes.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to cost a lot. We can fuss with files, but you don't want to wait. We can make minor adjustments on press, but not as much. So yeah.
Well, here we are, 7 in the morning. Well, 6:45 in the morning, and I am headed to a press check. I've got Poochie here with me. Say hi, Poochie. Oh my goodness! And a press check is where you basically go to the printer that you're using. It's early, man. I don't know what I'm saying. You go and check the prints as they're coming off the press. And so that's what I'm going to do this morning. And because I'm not a frequent flyer, they probably got me at 7 o'clock in the morning because nobody else wanted to do that time slot. Okay, we're here. Poochie, you hold down the fort. Okay, you just wait right here. Okay, so we're here in Utah. Press Media. They've been around since 1912, so I think they probably know what they're doing. Alright, so we're here and we're doing a press check, and these guys don't want to talk. So here's the is this, what do you call this? This is a print. I mean, this is actually the sheet that came off the press. Okay. So this kind of look here. Everything looks really good to me. And okay, so here's me signing the print. I decided to go back to doing a voiceover just because there was so much noise in the press room. Basically, Steve here is showing me how the paper goes in the machine. It was really cool. You know, I don't get out and see stuff like this very often, and it's kind of cool to see your own job being worked on by all these people, and you know, it makes you feel special. And anyway, I just thought it was kind of cool to film some of this stuff. They explained the technical process, and some of it was really cool. It was really cool seeing it come off the press. And one thing that I didn't know is that they have to constantly check to make sure that as it's coming off the press that the levels of ink are right, and that And so he's showing me these registration, but they're also like value marks. And then this machine over here actually scans. And so then the guy, the pressman here, he has to reach in there and time it just right and yank one out without smearing the others or messing up the whole process. And then there's a scanner up there on top that you can see that goes across and just checks those levels. Okay, so 15 minutes later, I'm up the canyon. Come here, Poochie. I walk every day, and I get to do it up here. Come here. And so anyway, press check is over. It's still morning, and maybe I'll talk a little bit about why I'm going the printing route. I think I mentioned it on another video just briefly. But the idea is that for me, probably the biggest reason is that time is money, and time is a commodity that they're not making any more of. And so basically I looked at it and I just decided I was going to do about 3 or 4 of these events, cons, conventions, whatever you want to call them. And I just didn't want to have to get prints ready each time, and I did the calculations. That my cost per print, this includes the big posters as well as the 8x10 prints, is, if I average everything out, is about 9 cents, 8.5, 9 cents a print. And so with that, I will have enough prints that I will not run out at the first event, the second event, and probably the third, and maybe even the fourth and fifth. So in that sense, it was worth it to me. I know that offset printing for many people doing Comic-Con is kind of drastic, and it's expensive, but in the long run, if you're going to do a lot, I do think it's the way to go, because the quality is super high. You got a mud puddle to navigate here, and again, not having to prep for the next con is going to be really fun, I think. Just being able to throw everything in the car and drive there down to LA at CTN, I think is going to be really fun. It's going to allow me to get my work done, my client work, and so there you go. Well, I was hoping that the sun would come up and you could see that the colors are all changing and stuff like that. But anyway, I might also add that people are probably going to ask, what kind of dog Pooch is. We think she's a border collie. We think she's mixed with something. Well, we know she's mixed with something else. She was a rescue when we were living in California. And anyway, so she was $35, and I highly believe in animal rescues. Anyway, back to the prints and everything, and art and illustration. One thing that I highly believe in is getting out and doing something for meditation, something to clear your head. I mean, like, if you're working a job and you're trying to do illustration work, it is so hard to just be going, and then you sit down and you try to come up with an idea, something really cool that people will respond to on social media and all that, something that might get you more client work. You're never going to come up with that idea just sitting there at your desk. And so, when I was living in California, I didn't have a nice place to walk like this. Some people have said, well, of course you can get inspired if you have a place like that to walk in, but you can get inspired anywhere. I think what it is the exercise kind of gives you those endorphins and everything, and I mean, that's really true. I am so antsy. I do this every day. If I'm not doing this, I play racquetball, and I highly believe in it. Also, it's healthy, but for me, a lot of the best ideas that I come up with are actually out here on the trail. And I just, my mind is allowed to wander, and I make different associations. So there you go. Okay, so yesterday, one of my Now, another side note to this whole Comic Con experience is yesterday I had a student say, okay, Will, it's killing me. I got to know, why are you doing Comic Con? Why is a children's book illustrator doing Comic Con? I mean, you've got illustration work for clients, working on a middle grade novel that has, you know, a cover and 14 illustrations for Random House, and another big children's book that I'm working on. And so, why Comic Con of all things? Like, you know, you've got your online school, svslearn.com, and you know, why throw this into the mix too? Is it for the money? Is it for, I mean, like, what? So she was puzzled, and the answer really is there really are probably three main reasons. I hope I can think of all of them. The first one is, and I've talked about this on this series before, but I'll just briefly mention it, and that is that it is actually, I fell in love with doing the little fan art characters. When I first started doing them, the idea was not to go to a Comic-Con show and you know, have a table and do all that. I'm trying to think and like not trip over these rocks at the same time. I think the cool thing is, it was not, I didn't set out and go, I am going to do Comic-Con, Salt Lake City Comic Con, and try to make money. I think in many ways that's probably the wrong approach. Not always, but in some ways I feel like when you set out to for the end goal to be money, often you fail because you'll make decisions based on profits rather than on creating amazing art, creating something that people will respond to. That really should be the first goal when creating art, is to create something that you love, because if you love it, other people are going to love it too. So that really was the first thing, it's just freaking fun. And then once I started going, people started saying, you know, you could do pretty good at Comic-Con, which kind of put the idea, yeah, maybe I'll get a table and, you know, low-key it. My problem is I have a hard time just low-keying something. So the second reason is that I thought that, and this is self-serving, this part is self-serving, I thought that I could share it with you guys, and that, you know, the whole vlogging, the whole social media experience, I am able to talk about books when they come out, my new children's books, on the YouTube channel. I'm able to talk about svslearn.com and generate a little bit more traffic there. I'm able to talk about anything that I'm working on, and so I thought, you know what, I will share this on YouTube. It'll give me something else to talk about. And so that was another reason. But probably the biggest reason that I'm doing Comic-Con is because I have, and I'm negotiating the mud again, I have a good, well, probably a dozen students that are, and former students that are going to be displaying, and a bunch of friends, you know, another dozen friends or so that'll be tabling in Salt Lake City next week. And show me your friends, you know, I feel left out. It's just an experience that I want to do. I think it'll be fun. I'm going to throw a fourth reason in there. The fourth reason is that, and this is a pretty big one too, when you're a children's book illustrator, the thing that you don't get is an audience. I mean, you can get this if you become superstar, rock star, children's book illustrator, but for most illustrators, they're never going to get to that point where they have like this insane fan base that just digs their work. And for most of us, it is proximity. You're doing a school visit. You're there. You're sharing your books with this school, and they're going to buy your books. They're going to buy your books because you're there that day. They're not buying them because they're not buying them out of choice. It's opportunity. They're there. Kids typically, you know, you take a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old kid, that's my audience. They're going to love any book that you put in front of them. And so probably the fourth reason for me is that I want to be able to connect with people that actually have a wallet and that actually care about what I'm doing. That, you know, even though I'm doing fan art, and I'm basically doing a twist on someone else's character, I think that I'm hoping that I can generate a group of people that, you know, are looking for the next thing to come out, the next, and this is a bad mud puddle right here. Yikes. I don't want to go down with the camera. That is slick. And so those are probably the 4 reasons. I think they're pretty good reasons. It's different, and the thing is, you know, I'm doing CTN in November, and probably looking at going to Denver Comic Con, and also maybe Seattle if I can get in there. Talk to me in a year. I may hate this, and so it is a gamble to spend the kind of money that I'm spending, and some people I'm sure are going to think that I'm crazy for doing what I'm doing, but I have a hard time doing something small. You know, I like to really think about it. That's why I went to Comic-Con for a couple years in a row. Didn't get a table. Looked around, thought about it, thought against it, thought I wasn't going to do it because I just didn't really see my stuff fitting in. I just didn't see people going for children's book stuff. And I'm sure a lot of people looking at the fan art that I'm doing are probably going to think it's not for them, you know, because it's cute stuff. I'm hoping to capture the crowd, possibly mostly female crowd. I don't know. We'll see. But, you know, my stuff is definitely on the cute side. That's what I'm going for. And so I'm thinking, well, maybe it will attract a more female audience. The funny thing is, and I've talked about this before too, is that I love doing cute stuff. I'm weird. I'm a weird guy. I'm not creepy weird. Okay, don't get me wrong. Not that kind of weird. That kind of weird can get you in jail. No, I've always just loved making things cute. And so I think it's a perfect fit for me to make these cute characters. But we'll see in the end if people respond to them, if I can sell them. And so anyway, looking forward to next week, and I guess that's it for this one. So there you go. There's all this stuff that I'm going to be sharing at Comic-Con, and on the next video I'm going to be sharing all my facts and figures. Please do not subscribe unless you want to see more videos like this.